and peace its paths adorn, I dream.
And then likewise, tenors and basses, when you come in, do give that some think of it as mezzo forte maybe. Okay. So from 60, don't worry about being at 60, but the soprano's coming in at 62. We've got let's go right from there. That's measure 60. Just the whole back page, and then we'll be all done. Don't worry too much about don't worry about 60. Just the soprano's coming in at 62.
Okay.
But I'm starting at 60.
Sopranos are worried about coming.
Such I dream. Yes. I dream. Yeah, love.
Just here, way back in the first page, just the tenor.
Wait, nobody go anywhere just yet.
Tenor entrance notes.
Tenor entrance. Okay, I'm getting some looks. Go ahead. Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah. Just the first two.
I got you. Beat you.
Oh, good. There's the sound guy.
Yes.
Right.
It's a different stable soprano section.
Yes.
Stable soprano section. You sit down.
Thank you.
back of the
Oh, and
just for now. I mean, not during the
Because I had it,
Tell me if you can hear the
Let's not sugarcoat it, darling.
work okay.
really took me enough 4 hours.
Sweetie, we're wearing a robe. The attention is there. How about we can suffer?
Thank you.
Okay, you do you. You do you. Which jacket? Okay.
Run the and keep it from going to sleep because it will.
Oh, how do I do that?
Well, it may when it's running this. It may when the slideshow is running. I think it won't, but if it does,
It goes through it twice. No.
that's right enough, right?
Oh, that's great. Then I'll just put it down to stop it. Thank you, Cliff.
Absolutely. Good morning. I'm all right. How are you doing? I think it's on the front. On the front? Yeah.
Good morning. This is just a sound check. Test, test. Thank you, Robert.
Has no structural purpose of the splash plate. I'm sure there's a technique to put it in. This could work. I put it in the center island metal thing that there must be some way to look at it. I can see the emptiness.
How he feels with holding a book. He's committed. He's prepping right now. I'll go get him.
Are you in here?
Yeah, I gotta be downstairs today before short folks.
Try your thingy on?
Yeah, Martin is in the community room reviewing the books. You gotta go grab. Oh, John is on. Okay. All right, great. You guys have this all set?
Yeah.
All right. I need to be downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah. You got a piece of paper.
Test. 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 Test.
Martin is here and needs a microphone. A microphone that he can use while he's holding a picture book. So probably not a handheld microphone because that's really difficult to do.
Test, test. You have to speak.
That's gonna.
like,
Why
right into
don't
it
you
like a
give
rock.
him an over ear?
Test.
Why don't you give him
Test. I'm not.
a different
Testing.
microphone?
How's that working?
Why don't you give him a different microphone so that he has his hands for the book?
Great idea.
Maybe, but maybe not where it needs to be.
Never work. It never works. You're exactly right. Yeah. It's a great idea that doesn't really work. Yeah. They like it.
We have other we have plenty of microphones.
This one I think is better.
Sylvia, come back.
Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Nothing? Let's see. Pew jacker upper. Wireless stands up lab. Wireless.
Writing it down.
You don't need
Honestly, so I don't.
Not on here.
You don't need to know.
I'm gonna,
It's not on this. It's not on here, so.
It's not
Usually the
on?
rock lab. That's where.
What is it?
Rock lab is where.
Rock?
She probably has it. Rockville. It's on.
Test. Test, test. Whole thing's what's going on?
No.
Test. Test, test, test. Test.
There you go.
Turn off. Sleep.
Rock lab?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it did go. Test.
Okay. No,
Question setting.
system settings.
You got it right there? Talking out? You talking now so I know which one it is?
Test, test. Yeah, so it's shutting down.
What about the one that?
Test, test.
What about
Test. This one then? This is about the best you're gonna get.
behind the earphone? No, but there's one that.
Displays.
One that. Oh, I think that's the one. Is that?
What is this?
Yeah, that is that.
It's an app.
Screen time.
Touch that on your head. That microphone.
No, she has their record on. So that's why Martin is standing in for.
Yeah, come on then.
I don't know how this works.
Changed it. Yeah, right, well, except it's too small. Test. You can't fit it on its head because it thinks it's a kid.
It's like,
Oh, you can,
I don't know, around you.
then you can just keep tapping
How
the
do I
screen.
put? Oh, you just
All
open
you
it
have to
up.
do is just do this.
Okay, great.
Test. Test. How's that? I can speak pretty loud,
Can you
but
hear it? Speak louder.
how loud would you like me? That sounds like it's working.
That's good. Okay, now don't move.
That's how.
Mind if I touch your belt? And the problem is it's on. I'm afraid
Who
to
made
shut
the
it
lovely
off.
sign?
But
The flyer.
maybe
Who's the Canva wizard?
the
Oh, I did that, yeah.
You're the Canva wizard. Is this? Oh, it is full screen over there.
You
Okay.
can shut it off. The button's right there. You gotta hold the button down to shut it off.
Tradition. Tradition.
Wait a minute. Is this Fiddler on the Roof?
I've been running this for several years, so it's pretty easy. I just put in new pictures.
Yeah.
Some old ones that are fun.
All right.
So
You wanna?
test the mic.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Testing.
We're, Sylvia's trying to test.
Testing. Testing. Good? Thank you.
Okay. Hymnals?
Oh, you've got yours. That's
You need a. Oh, there's one stuck there. Here. Oh, that's right. This can go here. Oh, you get the sound check. Oh, get the sound check. Feel free to kick that in however much you need. Don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Test, test. Work. How are we doing on time?
Get rid of all those flowers up here. That's all the greenies. Okay, so that's you, that's me. Two sentences, whatever you want. It's like 750 words. Apparently your story is long. I can talk to you for the music committee, lighting the chalice and the advent candles. So you know the advent candle you light the one that we already lit.
Janice was giving it the admin.
Okay.
She seems to know. Oh, you want the short one?
Yeah, you relight the one that's already been lit.
Oh, I think she was gonna not do that.
Okay, I will.
Short already.
Yeah. Yeah. So you light the one that you lit. And then one of the other
All right, we're good.
Is that for the story?
No. Oh, it was just for the announcement. That was awesome. Yeah, there you
Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Exeter, affectionately known as FUUSE. I am Janine Fabiano. At FUUSE, we seek to build a caring, inclusive community where we can ground ourselves spiritually, pursue justice in the larger society, and work to heal the natural world. If you are joining us via YouTube Live, you can connect with each other in the live chat. Good morning. Our live stream is available to the public, but recordings are only available by request to members of this congregation. If you are here in the sanctuary and would prefer not to be captured on video, remain behind the first 3 rows of pews. If you are new to our community and would like to be on our mailing list, which includes our weekly eFUSE newsletter, please fill out a blue card, which you can get from one of the ushers, or you can fill it out on our webpage. If you have any questions about FUSE, please feel free to ask anyone involved with today's service. We do have a few announcements before we get started today. From membership, what a delight to see so many new faces at services this fall. The membership committee invites all newcomers to gather after service today at 11 o'clock to noon in the community room. This will be an excellent opportunity to speak to Reverend Ariel and others who can answer questions about FUSE and Unitarian Universalism from Adult RE. We welcome all on December 23rd here in the sanctuary to join in a Blue Christmas service, a simple meditation, reading, music, rituals to gather in support and acknowledge of sadness, loss, and grief this holiday season. Questions, or if you would like to share words or music as part of this evening, please see Denise Short today. From the Green Team, beach cleanup today. Good morning, friends and neighbors. It's time for our last beach cleanup of 2025. We hope you can join us for a walk on Seabrook Beach to help pick up trash and debris left behind that would do harm to our sea creatures and birds. We will meet at 1:30 at 520 Hooksett Ave, the last home on the right. I'm assuming that's Seabrook? Seabrook. Any questions? See Dan at coffee hour. From our endowment team, we officially launched our endowment campaign with the full congregation on Sunday, October 26th. Thank you to all of you who have already made pledges. And as of earlier this week, we have confirmed a total of $440,000 in gifts and pledges over the past year towards our $600,000 goal. We are 73% there. Our goal is to both achieve 100% of our annual goal, but it is also to achieve 100% participation from our members in the endowment. And remember, any amount is acceptable. We invite you and your family and family to consider a contribution of any size as a forever gift to FUSE. No matter the amount, the gift of the endowment will continue to be invested and provide revenue to this community for years to come. Please see the eFUSE for more information on how you may pledge today. From the office, please assist our office administrator, Kamisha, when submitting checks to FUSE. Please note on the memo section of the check where you want that money allocated. And lastly, I have posted a list of the fall auction winning bids and bidders in the hall, so anyone may check out who won their donated item. Thank you.
Good morning. We open with the words of Sharon Olds in her poem, Ode to Dirt. Dear dirt, I am sorry I slighted you. I thought that you were only the background for the leading characters, the plants, the animals, and the human animals. It's as if I had loved only the stars and not the sky which gave them space in which to shine. Subtle, various, sensitive, you are the skin of our terrain. You're our democracy. When I understood I had never honored you as a living equal, I was ashamed of myself, as if I had not recognized a character who looked so different from me. But now I can see us all made of the same basic materials. Cousins of that first exploding from nothing in our intricate equation together. Oh, dirt, help us find ways to serve your life. You who have brought us forth and fed us, and who at the end will take us in and rotate with us and wobble and orbit. This worship service takes place in Musquamscook, now called Exeter, in Ndakina, the traditional ancestral homeland of the Abenaki, Pennacook, and Wabanaki peoples, past and present. We acknowledge with honor and gratitude the Alnambak, the people, who have stewarded Ndakina and its Aki, Nibi, Olakwakak, and Awaasak, the land, the waterways, the flora and fauna throughout the generations. Please join me in the covenant. It's printed in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to respect the nurturing power within all of us, to stay in the struggle until love wins. Thus do we covenant.
I have invited members of the music committee to light our chalice and Advent wreath today. May we kindle the light of justice in our hearts. In this hour of gathered community and then on, beyond these walls, may we be keepers of the flame of love that signifies the sacred in every living being. We light 2 candles on the Advent wreath on this second Sunday of Advent. The first candle for hope, and the second candle for peace. We light the candle to these words by Buddhist nun Pema Chodron. If we want there to be peace in the world, we have to be brave enough to soften what is rigid in our hearts, to find the soft spot and stay with it. We have to have that kind of courage and take that kind of responsibility. That's the true practice of peace. I now invite you all to rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, 226, People Look East. Jimmy will play it through and then we will join. And now Rebecca is helping out in the nursery this morning, so we have a special guest, Martin Myers, to read our story. Anyone who wants to come up and get a good look at the pictures, no matter what your age, is invited to come forward.
How's this? Can you all hear me?
No.
Yeah. If I speak a little louder, it'll be good, right? Yes. Hi, guys. Good morning. So today we have a book called The Last Stand, and the name of the author is Antoine Eady, and it's illustrated by Jarrett and Jerome Pumphrey. Guessing they might be related, maybe brothers. They do, the same last name. All right, so Papa has the last stand. It wasn't always this way. A year ago, there were 2. The year before, 5.
Your microphone is rubbing.
All good. Thank you. On Saturdays, we harvest, Papa and I. Papa gathers peppers, plums, and pumpkins. I collect the eggs. We set our harvest in baskets Granny made from sweetgrass. Then we load them up. Papa's hands are black and wrinkled, and each wrinkle tells me a story. If anything broke, Papa fixed it. If a sign needed holding, Papa held it.
What do some of those signs say?
Well, the big one says Earl's pumpkins, peppers, something, and eggs. But there are other signs. One says support black farmers, and the other is obscured, but I think we know it's not just a commercial exercise here. Blue, the color of Papa's pickup, taking us, like the sky, guiding us to the farmer's market, where others wait and welcome us. Papa waves, parks, and readies the stand. I unload the pickup. Mrs. Rosa sorts out her usual, bright orange pumpkins and fresh white eggs. You're a-moving like a cuda this season, Earl, she teases. Papa smiles, I bag. Oh, sorry. Papa's hair is gray and thin. His movements slow and steady, but like the wrinkles on his hands, every strand and movement tells me a story. From the back of the line, Mr. Johnny waves. Don't worry, I got a ripe green peppers just for you, Papa says, his voice real low. Coming right up, Mr. Johnny, I shout. My voice real high. Oh, and for those who can't read, we see one open stand and many stands with signs that say closed for business or sorry closed. So Papa's is the only one that's still open. Soon the stand is, as it was when we arrived, bare. But the day isn't over. Special delivery. I walk the basket of plums up to Mrs. Brown's driveway. Y'all coming later and later, Earl, she shouts to Papa. But you're worth the wait. She smiles wide like these hand-woven baskets. The star-speckled sky, black as only a town without streetlights could be, leads us home. Papa's driveway is dusty and bumpy, but every bump, slowing us down as if to welcome us home, tells me a story too. Imagine no streetlights. On Saturdays we harvest, Papa and I. My microphone is unreliable here. But this Saturday, Papa's is too tired. I gather peppers, plums, and pumpkins, and I collect the eggs. Purple, like Granny's bike giving me a ride, like Mrs. Brown's plums falling from my bag. Orange, like Mrs. Rose's pumpkins that I had to leave behind. Green, like Mr. Johnny's peppers rolling in front of me. Uh-oh. If he can't drive the pickup truck, what are we going to do? Yellow, like the sun stinging my skin as I make my way home. On Saturdays we harvest, but Papa is still too tired. I gather peppers, plums, and pumpkins, and I collected the eggs. 3 feet of Papa's rope, a few of Granny's sweetgrass baskets, and I have an idea. What do you think he's going to do? Do something to make it easier, and look. I'm giving it away here. Red, like the wagon attached to the bike. When I reach the farmer's market, others wait and welcome me. I wave, park, and ready the stand. Then I unload the wagon. Mrs. Rosa steps up for her usual. Mr. Johnny, waving from the back of the line, stops by too. Heavy, like the wagon, now loaded with well wishes for Papa. Look, there's pumpkin pies, candied plums, and stuffed peppers in the wagon for the trip back. Look at that. Look pretty good? What would you go for, the pumpkin pie? All right, peppers and pumpkin pie. But the day isn't over. Special delivery. I walk the basket of plums up Mrs. Brown's driveway. Let Earl know we're thinking of him, she says, handing me jam-filled jars. So look, he even went to Mrs. Brown's on his bike. On Saturdays, we would harvest, Papa and I, but today we gather instead. Look. My Papa had a stand. Each stand has a story, and this one is mine. So the book will be available to look at after the service.
Yeah. And now the choir.
vessel torn, I dream. Nor avarice blights our
We come into the space with heavy hearts and light hearts, and hearts tangled with all that we may feel. Let us take a moment to honor that, giving words to that which we wish to share on a card that you can get from an usher or from the pew, and that I can read aloud, and or by silently lighting a candle in one of the corners of the sanctuary. Oh, I did forget it. I was like, why is everyone looking at me funny? I'm just so ready for the next thing. But first we're gonna let the kids do important things like rehearse for the Christmas pageant and whatever other delightful things are planned. So thank you for your patience, and let us sing together 16 Simple Gifts. Let us take a moment to settle back into whatever it is that we're bringing with us today. And then light a candle or write some words while Jimmy plays some beautiful music. Sorrow for the aching, aching world. Joy for the many brave and hardworking people fighting for peace, equity, and democracy. From Linda Wilcox, I am thrilled to finally be here in person after 3 years of Zooming in while I waited for an apartment at Riverwoods. Welcome. From Uta Talini, praying for my sister-in-law in California. She is dying. May her journey be blessed. Thankful for this community as I navigate being alone for the holidays for the second time in my life. From Karen Patnod, joy to celebrate my grandson Miles' 4th birthday yesterday. From Ginny, many thanks to our dear Sylvia, who adorns our chancel so beautifully and creatively every Sunday. From Doc, the first ice fishing shack has appeared on my section of the Lamprey. From Herb, I'm deeply embarrassed for my country. From Case, Megan, and Deb Merrick, yesterday was a long, fun day for Team Fusion at the state competition. They passed their personal best of 230 points with 260 points. Very proud of our team. From the Outreach Committee, thanks to this generous community for filling all these festive gift bags for Meals on Wheels. Thanks. And finally, from Melanie and Peter, hold on to what is good, even if it is only a handful of dirt. Let us take a moment of silence together, honoring all that is said and all that has been left unsaid. Our meditative hymn today is 1045 in your teal hymnal, There is a Balm in Gilead. I was taught this hymn by Issei Barnwell, a powerful singer, composer, song leader, and member of Sweet Honey in the Rock. She drew our attention to the lyrics, to the balm that heals both the wounded and the sin sick, both the enslaved and the enslavers, those who have been wronged and those who have wronged them. Let us sing our meditative hymn with hopes for this kind of restorative healing that recognizes that both the oppressed and the oppressor need liberation from systems of oppression, with hope that there is a balm that can do all that. Jimmy will play through once. Please rise in body or spirit.
I met the founder of Soul Fire Farm when she visited UNH to advocate for food justice. Leah Penniman was an MLK program keynote, and she told the story of her people, saying, "The truth is that for thousands of years, Black people have had a sacred relationship with soil that far surpasses our hundreds of years of enslavement and 75 of sharecropping in the United States. For many Blacks," she said, "this period of land-based terror destroyed their sense of connections to the soil." Based on these realities, Penniman began organizing to end racism in the food system. Many have joined her, driven by the desire to counter apartheid and promote personal and community healing. Many Black farmers are doing the work of bringing back the skin of the earth. Soul Fire justice seekers also feel the passion that farming brings as they add to the slow food movement with its farmers markets and farm-to-table restaurant cuisines, as they role model slowing down our lifestyles, conserve, and offer sliding scale costs, all in the service, again, like the children's book said, of building community. They live in commitment to the interconnected web of life. What motivated Leah Penniman is the experience of being one of 3 mixed-race Black children raised in the rural North, mostly by their white father. She says, "I found it difficult to understand who I was. Some of the children in our conservative, almost all white public school taunted, bullied, and assaulted us, and I was confused and terrified by their malice. But while school was often terrifying, I found solace in the forest. When human beings were just too much to bear, the earth consistently held firm under my feet, and the solid, sticky trunk of the majestic white pine offered me something stable to grasp." As a child, I imagined that I was alone in identifying with Earth as Sacred Mother, having no idea that my African ancestors were whispering to me across time, saying, "Hold on, daughter Leah. We won't let you fail." So she builds awareness of her people's sacred relationship with the soil back to at least the reign of Cleopatra in Egypt, beginning before the Common Era in the year 51. Cleopatra recognized the earthworm's contribution to the fertility of soil and declared the animal sacred. She decreed that no one, not even a farmer, was allowed to harm or remove an earthworm for fear of offending the deity of fertility. Worms of the Nile River Valley are thought to have been a significant contributor to this extraordinary fertility of Egyptian soils. White people have ignored and demeaned sacred ancestral relationships with the skin of our planet. As colonists, white people failed to learn from Native Americans their customs on how to live in this land. Wendell Berry said it this way: "This was a racial stupidity that will corrode the heart of our society until the day comes when we learn from people who have a responsible sense of living within creation, a morality, a complex awareness of the life of the land." George Washington Carver, pioneer in regenerative farming, had spoken of this reverent connection in the 1800s. He told our people, "Unkindness to anything means an injustice done, whether to people or to soil." When I was working for equity and inclusion at UNH, I saw that these unkindnesses begin with a close-mindedness about getting to know someone who is not just like yourself. And I'm continually reminded of how I belong to the history of racism. And I think back to how it felt as a child when I was bullied or made to feel invisible. But my experience could never compare to the level of harm that other people have faced and continue to face. My Universalist church in my childhood taught me that one thing we can all do is start by seeing one another. Our UU values offer ways to grow empathy and humility, commit to learning from others, respecting their views, and it involves recognizing our biases and working toward understanding that there's a wealth to be found by learning from multicultural perspectives. And I love that living our values means expanding what our views of power mean, seeing power anew, power as responsibility as we work in a collective with our many differences. We begin to build the world we want to live in. Practicing our ability to respond, our response ability, is found in new vocabularies, deep learnings of the issues, their complexities and outlooks, and that all coaxes us to see the many ways it means to be human. And recognize across all divisions our common interests and our common humanity. I think back to how long it took UNH, the Board of Trustees, to approve partner health benefits for employees who identify as gay or lesbian. It took decades. What finally broke the barrier was that a member of the Gay Alliance invited an undecided board member to share a meal around the importance of the request. So he actually came to the lunch table and began to understand their common humanity. The following month, the UNH Board of Trustees approved partner benefits. We danced in the streets. We all seek belonging, after all, and when I was that cast-out kid, I found a sense of belonging in not just my church, but in my neighborhood. In both spaces, I had friends who were diverse in social status and experience. I had friends who were just very enlightening to me. My neighborhood was the sociologist's dream application of what they call the contact hypothesis. So where I lived, the homes on my side of the street intersected the homes of the tenements from the homes of the wealthy. My front windows faced across the street these grand properties of families like the Superior Court judge, an optometrist, an opera singer, and my back windows faced the tenement houses of the families of the oil delivery man, the dishwasher in a diner, and 7 people in a 2-bedroom, 3rd-story walk-up. Some folks were immigrants and all were disadvantaged. So picture my next-door neighbor's home being end-to-end with 2 footprints stretching from Blackstone Street tenements and Madison Street, big backyard, and that was our playground. All the kids from all these different walks of life played ball, flashlight tag, ice skated. We got to know one another well. This contact with many who were so different from me helped me reject the bias I saw at school and the damaging bias that my father brought home from World War II. My mother's bias against French Canadians. She brought that home to our home from her father. I felt that my neighborhood friends, Deborah and James, who were living in poverty, were still living successfully. They were sweet and close. I loved going to their home. They did not live a life of obsession with money and status. But I still have to remember that Deborah shared a toothbrush with 5 siblings, and they did not go to the dentist. We know the divisions of class and race have left us all with deep spiritual scars. White privilege has meant the unwillingness to dirty one's hands in one's own service, and that builds serious character flaws. It disconnects us from the earth and the earth's gifts, including the richness of diverse heritages and cultures. It damages both soil and human health. But many, as we heard from Amy Robinson last Sunday, feel a deep reverence and stewardship to the land. What I took home from her words was an emphasis on feeling, not just knowledge of our obligation to the land and all beings. We can be grateful to those who are widening the commitment to food sovereignty, the human right for all, and all to have more self-determination. I was fortunate to get some time to speak with Leah Penniman after she addressed the students. Her poster, which is on the wall of the chancel today, was, I cherish it. Her poster has her vision written on it. And this is what it says. Our ancestral grandmothers braided seeds and hope into their hair before being forced to board transatlantic slave ships. They did this because they believed against all odds in a future on soil. She says, if our ancestors did not give up on us, their descendants, in those trying times, who are we to abandon faith? So we plant our seeds. Following her talk, I told her about the work that our church does to honor the earth, and she signed the back of this poster, from Leah to the Exeter Church. The earth loves you back. The offertory is a sacrament of the free church. It is supported by the generosity of all of us. Today's offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared values and purpose.
In his author's note at the end of our picture book this morning, Antoine Eady writes, "Through creating this story, I'm reminded that land is complex, as is our relationship with it. But land is love, too. Its soil is rich. And if we are to bring beauty back to our world, we must first reckon with the truth, as complicated as it may be. The truth of food apartheid, of dispossession, desecration, despoliation. The truth that racism remains entangled in U.S. agricultural policy and practice, in a country built on the wealth of exploited and enslaved labor and land. Despite the fact that earlier this year, the USDA canceled its DEI programs, claiming that, quote, past discrimination has been sufficiently addressed, which is frankly a crock of, well, I will not slight a substance as sacred as manure by using it as an insult. The truth that a system that disconnects the average person, and certainly the average white person, from the work of the land, from the hard labor of supporting life, harms the souls of those who think they are too good for farm work. Which is not to say that everyone must farm. It is not the only way to God. But no one is too good to farm. My favorite book by that beloved white poet-farmer Wendell Berry is The Hidden Wound, a short and challenging book in which he explores how racism has harmed him as a white person, with particular attention to how it has served to disconnect white people, not just from those of other skin colors, but importantly, from the land. He writes, the notion that one is too good to do what is necessary for somebody to do is always weakening. The unwillingness or the inability to dirty one's hands in one's own service is a serious flaw of character. But in a society, that sense of superiority can cut off a whole class or a whole race from its most necessary experience. Sylvia mentioned the contact hypothesis, this idea that positive experiences shared by people who are different can reduce prejudice and hostility. If we expand this idea to non-human persons, we can think about how exposure and interaction with soil, with woods, with worms, cattle, food crops can increase a sense of connection and reduce the over-intellectualization of the significance of matter. Especially if we see these natural creatures and things as partners. Which is to say, one can talk all day or study all day about anything, racism, how the divine shows up in co-creation with humans in the cultivation of crops. But it is through contact that one can experience these things, can know them truly and not just as ideas or emotional reactions. We can touch, we can know, we can have intimacy when we are honest. When we accept that if we play in the dirt, we will get dirty. When we reckon with the complicated truth of what has happened on this land and what continues to happen. When we recognize the obstacles to our own intimacy with the earth, with the divine. James Baldwin wrote, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." So if we want the world that Langston Hughes dreamed of which our choir sang so beautifully this morning, where love will bless the earth and peace its paths adorn, then we must grapple with challenging questions about how and by whom our food is produced, who has access to capital and land, the dignity of those who tend it. In a community, for example, where many of us eat meat but are comfortable outsourcing the sacred work of slaughter to a workforce predominantly of immigrants who face dangerous conditions at work and terrorism from ICE regardless of their legal status. Our bodies are fed, most of us, most of the time, by a desecrated food system. It is painful, disgusting, disturbing, uncomfortable to face this. And in facing such truths, we can find paths forward. We can make other choices. We can find ways to bring into a broken system, a broken world, more love. That force that allowed enslaved people to turn food scraps into delicious nourishment. That force that guides the practices of many farmers and gardeners of all races who live and grow in partnership with land and plants and animals. That force which we say lies at the center of our faith as Unitarian Universalists. Then may we taste a world where all people, whatever race you be, will share the bounties of the earth, and everyone is free. May it be so. Please rise, embody our spirit for our closing hymn 294, Our Praise We Give. Jimmy will play through once, and then we will sing. Our chalice extinguishing words are from the poem For a Farmer by James A. Emanuel. The earth receives, turns all his pain to soil, where he believes and testifies through toil. Please join me in the unison benediction. Go in peace, speak the truth, give thanks each day. Respect the earth and all creatures, for they are alive like you. Care for your body, it is a wondrous gift. Be gentle with yourself. Live simply, be of service. Be guided by your faith and not your fear. Go lightly on your way. Move in a sacred manner. Sylvia, take care of it.
Oh, but that's what you're talking. No, but you have to, eventually they'll all be lit. We light the ones from before.
Is this your editor here?
Editor. I'm like, these 300 words we can talk about a different week.
Wait, say that again.
These 300 words we can talk about a different week.
Oh my god. We have that. I thought it was, we likes to write these long, like, Melville type sentences.
Oh my god.
And then the administrators well, first of all, we're taking the asterisk, then we're putting a period there, then we're adding a semicolon there. Thank you for making it.
Sorry, Betty just went down on the ramp. We need some, we need a medical person.
And also, Paul Friedrich. Can you help with something? Betty just fell. Found a doctor.
All right, she's back up. She went right on her back. She's gonna hold her. Watch her push her.
That's very. You brought that in?
So is that,
She was signing up.
there's no,
Like to ask.
Some elements that I just don't know.
It's creating seeds. Basically.
I know.
It's like the moon and the sun.
Sometimes when I get there,
right.
Like her mother is Unitarian. Living.
What's that? Okay. Yeah. I just started working.
So there was the Office of Sustainability. I'm not sure it's still called that. We were food program.
That's right. I'm not saying we should do it.
There's no,
I guess I mean, really that's something that school goes in on. That's something
which is all, right.
I can see how really bad.
That's exactly right.
I'm not doing, I mean, I'm not doing what
I guess, and that's what I mean, there is no easy,
yeah.
do what you have to do.
Oh, no, it's Sean told me that somebody kicked it. On a walk, kicked plate on one of the dishwashers. sound.